Hey, it's James here, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to motivate your staff, but more than that, how to motivate them with the right type of motivation, because not all motivation is created equal, okay? So when you get this, it's gonna absolutely be a game changer for the level of output and honestly, happiness and morale among your team. So let's jump ahead to some slides here. I wanna show you some things, because here's the thing that's going on today. There are lots of people telling us, hey, stop trying to motivate people. It doesn't work and you can't motivate your staff. I mean, these are actual screenshots from people telling you don't try to motivate people. But here's the thing, that is not helping at all. And the people who write this, they just don't understand the science of motivation, because I love this meme, not a runner, now you are. I don't know about you, I'm motivated. Or what about this one? Walk away fatty on the fridge. Now, these are not great motivations at all, and you'll see why in a moment, but they're still motivators. So here's the thing, motivation actually exists on a scale. On one far side, on the far left, we've got highly controlled motivators. These are things like threats, punishments, like gun to your head, like do this or else. Bottom line, it is a motivator, but it's just not the best. And then on the far right, we've got what's called intrinsic motivation. And that's where people do things from the inside. And that's where really amazing stuff happens. But let me give you an example of how all this plays out. Let's pretend on one Saturday afternoon in some suburb somewhere, there are three neighbors. They all live beside each other, and each one of them needs to cut their lawn. Now, neighbor number one, the guy on the far left, he doesn't want to cut his lawn. He hates cutting his lawn, but he gets an angry letter from the HOA, and they've threatened him. If you don't cut your lawn by Monday, we're going to fine you. So he begrudgingly goes out and cuts his lawn. Well, neighbor number two doesn't want to cut his lawn either, because he's watching the college football game. But his wife says, hey, my mom's coming into town tomorrow. Would you please cut the lawn so it looks nice? And if you do, I'll make you your favorite chocolate cake. And so now we have incentivized the task, right? There's some kind of bonus and reward for doing it. And so he goes and cuts the lawn. But neighbor number three is different. Neighbor number three loves cutting his lawn. He loves the exercise he gets, he loves being outside, and he loves at the end, when he's put all his tools away, to stand on the street and look back at his yard and see how nice it looks, and also the feeling like he's being a good neighbor. Now, here's my question. All three lawns were mowed. In other words, the job got done, but they didn't get all done with the same amount of quality. In other words, who does the best job mowing their lawn? Neighbor number one, neighbor number two, or neighbor number three? Well, if you guess three, you're absolutely correct. Now, who blows grass all over the sidewalk and doesn't care? Well, that would be neighbor number one. So you see what happens here? Even though all the jobs got done, they didn't get done with the same level of excellence, and it all is about where the motivation came from, whether it came from within or whether it came from without. And in some ways, you can break this down into three broad categories: a have-to motivation, a want-to motivation, and a get-to motivation. At very least, we want our staff to be in the want-to motivation, but even better if we can get them into the get-to. Now, let's just take this one step further. Let's simplify this picture for a minute, and let's just talk about these two. What's really the difference between these two? I mean, same street, same lawnmower model, same Saturday, yet one does a great job, the other one does not so great a job. What's the difference? Well, the difference actually is how they think. Ponder that for a moment. It's how they think. And in fact, inspirational leadership is shifting how people think about what they do. And this is one of the amazing things that we can do as leaders, is we can help people reframe the job at hand. And just by doing that, just by getting them to think differently about their work, we can change the source of motivation. So it's not just about how do I motivate my staff, it's how do I motivate them to have intrinsic motivation, because that's the motivation that's going to produce the best results. And one of the ways that we do that is through something called the engagement drivers. The engagement drivers are emotional and psychological needs that we're able to tap into as managers. And when we do, it helps our staff be more motivated. Now, if you'd like to learn more about the engagement drivers, I actually made you a free training, and you can access that. You'll see in a link in the comments below, where you'll learn how to apply the engagement drivers with your staff so that they go from have to motivation to want to get to. And that's where beautiful things happen.